Good morning, Sixth Form, and welcome to the first in a series of videos, all focusing on different revision techniques that we hope will help you Year 12 in the build-up to your end of half-term assessments, and Year 13, of course, in the build-up to your final assessments, which you'll be sitting in May and June. Now, from the outset, I would like to apologise for my handwriting. For those of you who have been fortunate or unfortunate enough to be taught by me, you will know that my handwriting is absolutely awful, particularly when I work on visualizers. So please forgive me for that. I will try to take my time and make it as clear as possible throughout the course of this video. So the technique that I'm going to talk to you about today is mind mapping. And I really like mind mapping. It's really useful for us in media studies, but also for lots of other subjects, particularly those which are literacy based. And in particular, what I want to talk to you about is how to extend your mind maps. So lots of you will have done mind maps in the past about topics, and you might have used it as a recall activity to think of all the things that you might know about a particular topic. So for example, one of the exam topics we cover in media studies is online media. And if you were thinking about all the content that you might need to know, you might just start by writing those main concepts down. So for example, I know that in online media, I need to know about representation. I need to know about the industry. And I need to know about audiences. Those are all things which are important to online media. And you might even in the past have thought about how you can extend this further, so draw further branches. So for example, if I was thinking about audiences, I might write down a theorist that I know. So for example, I might write down that reception theory might be quite useful for me when talking about audiences. I might note down a case study that I know. So for example, I might write down that I need to talk about Zoella, which we actually do in our exam, etc., etc. And this can be a really useful way for you to recall knowledge that you need ahead of an exam. However, what I want to focus on specifically today is how you can extend these mind maps even further, and specifically with a focus on exam questions or topics. So within that broad topic of online media, all of my media studies students are going to have to write an essay in their exam about representation in online media. That's something which they would have to cover. Now, in media studies, when you are writing a 15-mark essay, we always know that we're going to have to write 3 paragraphs, which means we're going to need 3 points. So when you're trying to plan an essay about this particular topic, what you begin with is writing down your 3 specific paragraphs or points which you're going to use in the essay. So for example, I might have one which is on self-representation, a really important factor in online media. I might have one on gender socialization, a little bit of overlap there with sociology as well. And I might have one on identity. Okay, now I'm going to focus specifically on this paragraph, self-representation. So in media studies, we know that whenever we write our paragraphs, we have to include a point, some evidence, some analysis, and then a link to a theory. So when my students are planning using mind mapping, I encourage them to try to write down each of those different sections of the paragraph within the mind map using different branches. So I've already got my point, which is self-representation. I'm going to need one branch for my evidence. I'm going to need one branch for my analysis. And then finally, I'm going to need one branch, which is going to provide my link to my theory. So for my evidence branch, I'm going to write an example of, so if I was actually writing this as an essay, I would need to reference a video which I'd seen, and I'm going to use that. So another example I was talking about earlier, so I'm going to use her 2022 plans video. That's the evidence which I'm going to use for this particular paragraph. And I'm going to be even more specific and say that I'm going to give a quote which was about the filters that she was using and the fact that she was doing her makeup during the video. I'm going to analyze that. So I'm going to talk about the fact that the way that she was referring to filters that she's using makes the video appear authentic because she's not hiding the production process that she uses. And I'm going to also say that the fact that she was doing her makeup throughout the video might make her appear quite genuine, because at the start of the video she wears no makeup, but as the video goes on she wears more and more, and this might help gain audience trust, because it might make them believe that she actually does have makeup in the way that she's showing there. And then I'm going to make a link here. I'm going to link to Stuart Hall's theory of representation, because he tells people that in the media, representations are constructed through the use of different codes and conventions. And I'm going to say here that actually she is choosing what she shows people. So she's eliciting choice, and that she can leave out bad bits, which might call into question the integrity of this representation that she's making. So as you can see here, and apologies for using this media studies example, which might be completely meaningless to all of you, but what you can see here is I've got my main exam topic or question, which is going to be on representation in online media. I've broken that down into the 3 paragraphs that I'm going to write. So one on identity, one on gender socialization, and one on self-representation. And then what I've done is I've broken that down even further into the specific parts of the paragraph that I'm going to use. Now, once I'd finished this would mean I would have a complete plan in front of me, ready for the exam. And if I was asked about representation in online media, I would be able to refer to this plan in my build up to the exam, and I would be ready for it. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do now is I'm going to ask you in tutor time to create your own mind map. So think about an exam topic or question which you might have been given recently, or you could refer to your textbook or your notes to create it. And I would like you to create a mind map for that question or topic and see how far you can extend it using different branches like I did. Now, it might be, of course, that you have a different paragraph structure. In fact, I know that you would have different paragraph structures for your different subjects, and try using those paragraph structures to help with your planning in that mind map. Good luck, guys. I hope they go well.